y'all is a new kind of people. So the African American is a European, indigo and African mix in one, and the African gene is so dominant. So we appear to be African. This is why we look at Africans. We like, oh, we're not Africans. It's because your genes have been mixed, and you are like 3 motherfuckers in one, right? And with this stated, and with us understanding that we are like 3 people in one, the United States ignores reparations because they're like, nigga, who we giving it to in your bloodline? You or you, nigga? We raped and pillaged you. You got our blood in you. You are us. You are our slave. We raped your woman. Like y'all mixed breeded. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're mixed breeders. So you have a person that's black, got a black father and a white mother, and he wants reparations. What, nigga? And then the people that are, so-called dark pigmented, because if you mix someone of these cultures, we have cultures, we're all melanated, right? But we have these cultures where we had indigo cultures, right? Where the Indians do have land. They do have land. They do have their own laws. The Indian people of the United States of America do have rights. They have rights. They have land. They have, you might not know that, but the Indian people, the so-called Native Americans, they do have rights. They have tribes, and they have rights. They don't need passports. They got rights. Yeah, you should look that shit up, right? So, hold on, let me say this. I just seen some crazy shit written, but if you say stuff negative in my room, I'm going to block you. So please don't ask, why am I blocked? Please don't ask that. Just say I apologize in the inbox, because this is just a side note. If you say something negative and I see it, I'm going to block you. So when you get to my inbox, please don't act oblivious of why you got blocked. There's so many people in my inbox like, yo, why am I blocked? Yo, you were being negative. You sent negative energy. I do not block anybody unless they send negative energy. So just letting you know right now as a warning and disclaimer, real quick. So with that being stated, So we are this mixed, blended people, and we're asking for reparations for what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are a mixed breed. You know what I'm saying? We are new people. And why are we, asking for that instead of just, dealing with what we have at hand, which I'm not saying that the discrimination internationally is right. We need to do something about it, and I think that what we can do about it is what I'm doing, is leave the system itself. We're asking for equal rights to the system, and that was never designed for us to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're indigenous people. We had our own set laws and principles and morals, spirituality. We didn't believe in a white Jesus, and we didn't believe in that kind of stuff. So why are we sitting here trying to say to ourselves, well, we want equal rights to be Catholic, when we never were Catholics? You know what I'm saying? We want equal rights to live life the way you live it within your system, and we're God's children. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that we're the earth's children. It's like, why do we ask for equal rights in a system that we're not supposed to be a part of, we're not designed to be a part of? And with that being stated, as indigenous people, if you are indigenous, no matter what shade of color that you are, no matter if you are light-skinned, because we're all brown, this whole white-black thing is stupid, because how can anyone be white unless you're albino? And how can anybody be black unless you're super melanated? You know what I'm saying? But we're all brown. We're all different shades of melanin. But the culture and society has conditioned us to understand what that means. That means that you're darker pigmented. So if you're darker pigmented with nappy hair, yeah, you're gonna get treated differently, which is fucked up, right? And so with that understanding, we do have a sub-culture of people that hate white people, a subculture of people that hate black people because that's what they want us to do. They want us to fight one another like stupid and unintelligent fools. When the truth is, there's just good people and bad people. There's just good people and there's just bad people. And I seen somebody on one of my posts like, oh, you can't trust white people. No, you can't trust bad people. You can't trust negative people that tend to find negativity in all colors. See, y'all give people too much power. You give people your power away when you say that there's a certain people that are evil. No. No one can do anything to you unless you accept it. You say, oh, Jewish people are bad. No, they're not. No. They are who they are, and you don't have to be a part of their system. So if Jewish people are bad and black people so-called hate Jews, then why are we fucking continuing to sell our music to the Jewish? We know that Jews own hip-hop. So what the fuck is you keep wanting to be a hip-hop star for? You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense. It's just bad people and good people. You know what I'm saying? We want to pinpoint an external enemy when the only enemy is self. And it's how you're looking at it. The only enemy is you. So I'm too intelligent to be racist. Too intelligent. Only ignorant people, the underdeveloped mind can see life through racism. I see it through class. I see it through class. There's rich and then there's poor. And it's what it is. But there is still a discrimination against the melanated man and the indigenous people of the land. Is still the way we're treated in society, no matter where you go. No matter where you go. I don't care if it's Latin America, South America, North America. There is a thing called white privilege, where lighter skinned people are treated different. And we need to acknowledge that and change it. Okay? So, but if you can't change it, like I said, if you are a less melanated person or a so-called white person, then you should be a part of changing humanity and the way humanity looks at things. You should be someone that is not a part of that if you're a good person. And you should make that clear, that not all white people are against black people. You need to make that shit clear. You know what I'm saying? Because the Hebrew Israelites say that y'all the devil. Nation of Islam say the white man and the Jewish man is the devil. I don't believe that. I think the devil is in the heart of all men. It depends on what you feed. Each man has God or good in him and has a devil in him. I do think the lack of melanin makes people more prone to being evil. That's a fact. The lack of melanin can, and depending on the lack of melanin or the zodiac sign of the person, can determine if they're more evil or good, depending on the melanin. Yes. If you have less melanin and you're an Aquarius and you're an air sign and you're a fire sign, you're more prone to be a Babylonian, an evil person. You got a lot of air and fire in your chart. I wouldn't particularly say Aquarius more Libra and Gemini, because Aquarius is about the people, and you can't be about the people. I guess you can if you got the right placements. You could be about some evil people. You know, you could be about evil people. You know what I'm saying? So I guess when you have the air signs and them fire signs, then you're more likely, and if you're less melanin, you're more likely to be an evil motherfucker. Because the more melanin you have, the more connection you have to the melanin in nature. You know what I'm saying? Melanin gives life force to nature. So the less melanin you are, the more likely you are to be prone to do evil shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, it just is what it is. It doesn't make you the devil. It's just science. It's science, because we know the lack of melanin is a genetic mutation, and that genetic mutation allowed us to do certain things in the Ice Age when we didn't have, it allowed us to kill, to eat, and it allowed us to be shut off from life itself, and enough for us to do the crazy shit we did. And the Ice Age, you know what I'm saying? So the lack of melanin does give someone this less connection to the all, to themselves, and to the emotional body, to be able to feel, you know what I mean? So melanin allows us to have a stronger connection to life force itself and be able to feel. Because if you can't feel, then you can't be empathetic, you can't be compassionate about another. But just because you're melanated doesn't mean that you utilize that skill, because a lot of melanated people have, astrological energies that disconnect them from their emotional body as well. So if you're melanated, it does give you a slight advantage.
What happens while driving,
to being humane and understanding humanity. But if your astrological energy is mostly air and fire, then you'll probably be more cut off from your emotions, which connects you to the all. Your emotional body connects you to the all, and especially if you're a male. Being a male gives us a slight disadvantage of being connected to our emotional body, because testosterone disconnects you, because it's supposed to make you more logic to do what needs to be done in emotional situations. But if you are a male, this also gives you a disadvantage. So being a male, lack of melanin, and air signs and fire signs all together. So say if you're a white male with mostly fire and air in your chart, and yeah, you're going to be a fucking devil. No doubt. No doubt. This is true esoteric understanding. But if you are a white female and you have a lot of water in your chart, yeah, you'll be more indigenous to the land. You'll grow locks. You'll care about humanity in whole. You'll be like more in tune with humanity. You're not going to be somebody that's going to be taking advantage of your white privilege. You know what I'm saying? You're going to care more about us as a whole, as humanity. So if you see black people being done wrong, you're not going to be with that. You're going to be like, nah, I feel that's wrong, and I don't want to be a part of that. So, this all has to do with connection to the emotional body. Instead of being white and black, it's just cosmic. It's cosmic. It has a lot to do with gender and cosmic, because, once we understand this, then we can understand why things happen. And true gods, we understand the reason why, things happen the way they happen. So if you have in your chart, it's all about that natal chart of a being, because the devil is in us, and the devil can play more in those that are air signs, play out more in those that are air signs that are cut off, because air signs are cut off. Fire signs are impulsive. They don't think. They move before they think. And so, So, when the water signs and the earth signs are more down to earth, they're more practical thinking. Well, that's not realistic. And the water signs are able to feel, hey, man, we shouldn't treat other people like that. This is not cool. So, later on, I'll go into details about, that, and how the devil lies in our disconnection from each other. And that's what the devil is, But when there's a balance between, because you don't want to be too, and I'll say this, you don't want to be too much earth and well, you would want to be earth, have a lot of earth in water in your truck, but not too much of it, because then you might not be able to do what needs to be done to make change and bring change. So it's a fine tuning of it all. So there could be a white male that has water in his chart and uses his white privilege to help humanity and help indigenous people. You know what I'm saying? And not be a part of that system and not be prejudiced and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about individuals. We need to look at people as individuals and judge a man by the creed of his heart rather than the skin color alone. Not saying that we shouldn't judge you by your skin color, but not that alone. It's just ignorant to just judge a man. Oh, he's a black man, so he's a good man. No. Oh, he's a white man, so he's a devil. No. Oh, he's a Jew, so he's a devil. Or no. That is not intelligent. So to the Nation of Islam, you know, we want you to understand that the gods watch you. We understand what you're doing, and it's not right to just judge all Jews, put all Jews in one spigot. And, you know, even looking in the system, you know, there's Jews out there that are just not with fucking prejudice and racism and treating people. There's Jews out there that are fighting the system too. There's white people out there that are fighting the system, and it's just fucked up that you just put everybody in the pot. I think you're ignorant in your own self to do so, you know. And that's the Nation of Islam. I challenge those teachings. I love you as for what you do have, and I look at everything in totality. I look at the discipline we have in the Nation of Islam. I look at the unity we have in the Nation of Islam. I look at the good teachings we have from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Most honorable Elijah Muhammad via the most honorable Louis Farrakhan. But I do have, you know, my debates, because I don't think that it's right that you put all Jews in one pot. I think we can't make change by being bigmas. We can't be changed by being hating Jews. You can't, because one Jew can turn that whole shit around. You know, we need to acknowledge the fact that there's good Jews that are just against their own system. You know what I'm saying? And utilizing their power against their system is the only way. So we must friend the good Jews. We must befriend the good Jews, the good white people, because they're the ones that bring change to their system. If you really hate Jewish society or their system, then you have to befriend the ones that will betray that system. You cannot just put all Jews together and say we hate Jews, because what you're doing is you're not acknowledging the key element that can change the system of the Jews, which are the children that are born from the Jews that are against their system as well. So it is not wise that we put ourselves in a box. We must be gods. You know, fight the system. And I get to understand you are a female, male that has Jewish society or their system, then you have to befriend the ones that will betray that system. You cannot just put all Jews together and say we hate Jews, because what you're doing is you're not acknowledging the key element that can change the system of the Jews, which are the children that are born from the Jews that are against their system as well. So it is not wise that we put ourselves in a box. We must be gods. We must be limitless. You know, we must be limitless. We must be able to change even our own understandings. We must be able to evolve. When shown flaw in our own understandings, we must be able to implement what's right. We cannot be supreme beings and lead people and say we're leaders of people and leaders of ourselves and not be able to take correction and see flaw in our own ways at times. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, with that being stated, I'm going to open up the line. I'm going to end this live so we can put this up on YouTube as a build, just to give you thoughts. I like to give you thoughts, you know. I like to give you my mind and how my mind thinks. I like to share my mind. I think my mind is important in all. I like to share my mind. I like to share what is going through my mind and how I think, so that you can get an understanding of how my mind moves. And I can attract myself to people that think like me. I like to talk to intellectuals, active intellectuals. I mean, people that are active in their own intellectual knowledge, not just talking about it, but being active in your own knowledge. So I like to build with people like King Noble. I like King Noble a lot. I'm not in agreement in everything that he believes in, but I like that he's active in what he's doing, and he's talking about it, and he's doing something about it. With that being stated, I'm going to open up the lines in my next live. You guys can come in, and let's build. All right? I love myself. Peace.